18th, 2024. Please join me for the flag salute. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conley?
Present.
Councilmember Losi?
Here.
Councilmember Mobley?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Here.
Mayor Trent?
Here. Make a quick announcement. The men's restroom is down the hallway and to the right because we had a little bit of a flood in this one, so they're doing the remodeling on it, if anybody's looking for that. And before we start our meeting tonight, I just want to say that the city lost a city employee this last week, Jesse Schutzley, also known as Big Jesse. There will be a celebration of life for him on Sunday, December 15th at the River Lodge. And let's see what my notes here say. He worked in the Public Works Department for the city for almost 20 years, so he'll be greatly missed by all of us here and everybody in the community. So moving on, we'll go to oral comments from the public. Anybody have a comment that is not on the agenda? Please state your name for the record too, please.
Ariana Bowen. I'm the secretary of the Eel River Valley Youth Soccer, and I'm here to kind of address the fee for use.
Okay.
$15 field per hour per field. That is going to be. I think it's the battery's dead. There's a red light.
You might have to think about investing in a new microphone. Okay, good. Be cheaper than replacing the batteries. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So we need about 1,300 to 1,400 field hours per season. That's going to be roughly 20 grand for a price for us to do. That's a lot of money. You know, we're nonprofit. It's for the kids. It's run by volunteers. It ends up being about a 16% increase on registration costs for the kids. That's going to be about $150 regular registration, and then, or for early bird, and regular registration is going to have to go to increase 175 to 180. That's per kid. Families could have 2 or 3 kids. That's a lot of money. And so I just wanted to bring it up that, you know, it's a substantial increase to use the fields. And as much as we appreciate using the fields, you know, it's a great opportunity for us, but for decades it's been free to use. So I just wanted to bring it up, that it's a substantial increase. And I was hoping that we could talk to somebody about it.
Okay, is that your full comment?
And then another question that we raise is, will we receive anything for this substantial cost, or is it just the current maintenance that the field's getting?
Okay, I can't carry on a conversation with you, so tell me all your questions and then maybe.
That's the last question
Okay.
that I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you for your comment. We don't have the parks person here. Council has not seen any figures on the pay, on what the increases are or anything, so do you? Yeah,
So currently, staff is working on a draft field use rental agreement. And that is likely to go to the Parks Commission. I think it's December 9th, and then hopefully will be before your city council in January. And one of the things we've talked about doing is a rate per user, particularly with larger groups like soccer, because currently a lot of folks aren't paying for the field use. And as you know, Measure P did not pass. And so we need to have some funds in order to maintain those fields. And so that field use rental agreement will be coming before your council. It's not anticipated to be $20,000 in any way, shape, or form. I'm not sure where that number came from, but we would not ask that dollar amount because that's not a realistic dollar amount. But nothing has been adopted at this point, or nothing's come before your council. It's all just in a draft phase at this point in time.
So will the draft go to the Parks Commission?
Yes, for
And when was
feedback.
that meeting again?
I believe it's December 9th. Hold on. I believe it's December 9th. I don't have it on my list of meetings, but I believe that's when it's, the first draft will go to the Parks Commission, and then it'll come to the City Council in January.
Okay. That's something you might want to go to, is to the Parks Commission when they talk about the draft. So when you brought that up, we don't know what you were talking about because we haven't seen any of that information yet. So, but start there and then follow it all the way up. Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment. And we have introduction of the new Engineering Tech 2. You ha-
So to be honest, I'm not sure who's more excited about this, whether it's Ryan, myself, or Brendan, but Ryan was with us summer before last. He was here for a couple months, and it was just really going well. Extenuating circumstances took him away for a while, but those worked out, and now he's back with us. And without further ado, I'll introduce Ryan Fraga.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, life has taken a lot of unexpected turns over the last year, but I'm very glad to be back. City of Fortuna is an awesome place to work, and I can't wait to have a long career here with the city. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome back. Okay, our consent calendar, we have 10 items on the consent calendar. All of our departments' monthly reports and review and accept complete completion of the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG Burial Removal Project, CPI 997. Anybody want to pull any of the consent?
I would like G
G, okay,
and J, please.
G and J. Okay, go ahead.
For G, this is the Public Works Monthly Report, and I'm glad Brendan's here. He's always here. We appreciate it. With regard to the Carsons Wood Road water main extension, I had a question from a neighbor who lives near there about whether, with the extension, those houses that are hooking up to that extension, if they're having to pay fees for that extension. So if he had a question, I'm sure that there might be other residents around there. If somebody could give an answer to that?
Yes, that is a great question. The answer is no. It's covered under our budgeted funds. They are ratepayers, so these are improvements that are happening on our system with the ratepayer funds. So no charges are being added to any customers at this time, or at any time for that matter. as a
Okay,
result
so
of the
this is,
project.
it's an improvement.
It's an improvement of existing infrastructure, yeah. So this comes out of the budget. All ratepayers pay into our capital improvement program, as it were. And this is a project in that area that'll benefit those homeowners. But no, there's no additional funds, or fees, there's no additional things that would be on anybody's bill. It's just business as usual, fortunately.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Hopefully, other people who might have that same question would be listening either tonight or they can tune in down the road. And then Jay. And this is just a comment about the CDBG barrier removal project. I just want to congratulate Matt and Katie, because they kind of led the charge with this project. There were 8 sites total, at least 8 sites total. You'll notice them up and down primarily N Street. And it just has made a world of difference for a lot of the sidewalks that are along there. It allows people in wheelchairs, disabled folks to get from the bus stop to the library and around town much easier. The whole project came in under cost. The total cost was $397,000, and the project came in under that, so extra money that the city has. So, but congratulations to Matt, and you did a great job. That's all I have.
Okay.
And I will move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Do we have any public comment on any of these items? None? Okay, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next business item is approve a $53,000 supplemental budget request and execute a contract amendment with Plan West Partners for continued professional planning services for the Mill District specific plan. Staff report.
Good evening, Mayor Trent and honorable council members. I'm Sherry Meads, the Community Development Director, and I'm bringing this item before you tonight with the excitement that we're getting very close to the end of this project. However, there have been some time delays due to additional analysis that was needed for vehicle miles traveled for the EIR section. And we have received one of the letters that I mentioned when I came before you last, a challenge to our EIR based on certain things related to VMT, air quality, and that type of thing. So we have had additional time to work on responses to these comments, additional project management time. Anytime you're in a project and there are delays, it means more money. So we're hoping that this will be the last time for coming before you for this project to just get it over the finish line. Plan West has been a great partner in this project, and we really want to see this get done accurately and hopefully able to avoid any legal challenges. So it is a supplemental budget request and executing a contract amendment with Plan West Partners to finish up the Mill District specific plan. And I'm here for questions, and I know we have a representative from Plan West on the call if you have any additional questions.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
I do. So this environmental justice advocacy group that challenged the SEIR, is this a Humboldt County group, or what's with this group that decides to challenge this?
So they are in Southern California. We've done a little bit of research and found that this is something that they do. They look for certain size projects that have anything to do with manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, logistics, that type of thing, and help communities make sure that it's meeting all requirements.
And do oftentimes these challenges, are they followed up by legal means?
Yes, so we are trying to prevent that. However, there has been at least one case we were able to find that they did enter litigation with a community and they lost.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I was just going to have a comment that it's nice to see it moving forward. It's planned. It's, the EIR has been circulated. We're taking care of the traffic logistics on the Kenmar side, and it has a potential to be a good fit and a good project for Fortuna. So I hope to see it moving forward.
Okay, we'll open public comment. Anybody in the public like to comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a $53,032 supplemental budget request and authorize the city manager to execute a contract amendment with Plan West Partners to continue providing professional planning services related to the Mill District specific plan.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is authorize the city manager to execute a contract for professional service agreements with CSG Consultant for SB 1383, compliance and franchise agreement development.
I have a question. Do I need to recuse myself from this?
No, I don't think so.
Not at this point.
Not at this point. As your council is aware, Senate Bill 1383 was passed, and that bill first of all, it's a state mandate, and it requires significant changes to solid waste management, including diversion of organics from landfills, and includes mandatory residential and commercial organics collection programs and recycling. There will be enforcement, there will be procurement and reporting to CalRecycle, and because of all of these SB 1383 changes, we need to update the franchise agreement and amendment with our current waste hauler, which is Recology. And those negotiations with Recology have taken some additional time, and therefore we need to continue to engage CSG consultants to assist with those negotiations. We are working in collaboration with other jurisdictions in the area, Eureka, Arcata, and the County of Humboldt. And we'd like to continue to do that because it's an effective tool that all of us work together so we can get the best agreement possible for all of the residents in Humboldt County. And so therefore, I would like the authority to execute a professional service agreement or contract with CSG Consultants to continue to assist with SB 1383 compliance and development of an updated franchise agreement.
Okay, any questions from council?
Just a comment. I was really glad to see that CalRecycle actually offered grants to offset some of these costs, and that we actually did receive the grant, correct?
Yes, we did, and that's, the grant will pay for these services, these consulting services.
It's too often that we have these mandated costs that the state hands down to us. So I was glad to see that CalRecycle actually offered this.
It's still an unfunded state mandate.
It is, but
Yes.
we've got money for it.
But only a tiny bit of money to help with a portion of it. None of it is paying for all of the staff time. It's just paying for the consultant's time. There's a lot of staff time that goes into this work
Yes, there
as well.
is. And I'm ready to make a motion after comment.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, open public comment. Anybody in the public like to comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment.
I'll move to authorize the city manager to execute the professional services agreement with CSG Consultants to continue assisting the city with SB 1383 compliance and development of a franchise agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, and our third item of business is approve a memorandum of understanding between the County of Humboldt and the City of Fortuna for the county to continue providing housing program administration and related services for 2025 through 2027, Resolution 2024-36. Staff report.
Good evening again, Mayor Trent and council members. I'm Sherry Meads, the Community Development Director, and this item is a continuation or an extension, if you will, of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Fortuna and the County of Humboldt to administer some of the state housing programs. As an example, we have utilized these services for administration of the HOME capital program, which covers the Danco Fortuna Meadows Senior Apartments and things such as that. So the county is set up to administer these housing programs. We've been in this relationship with them since 2013, and this is just an extension of that. Last year, we ended up being charged $3,700 from the county, but we were, or, you know, that's what we were invoiced for, if you will, and we were able to charge that against the revenue received from Danco in relation to the Fortuna Meadows loan that the city issued many years ago. So it was actually, it didn't cost us anything last year. So it does some of the services they provide are if current loan recipients have had a change in income, or if family members want to assume a loan, or if the loan recipient passes away. And they also answer some of the questions about housing-related programs that the city offers, but that finance does not have staff to perform the needed qualification and background checks. So it's a good relationship. It's been, you know, it's on call. If we use it, we get charged. If we don't, we don't. So staff recommends that we continue that relationship as represented in the resolution before you tonight.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
A long time ago, 25-plus years ago, I was able to avail myself of a loan to repair electrical that was deficient, insulate, replace sheetrock that had been messed with and when I first bought my house. And is that what this program is, or is it part of this?
So they will help us with any of the programs through HCD. So likely yes, but I'm not positive. Aaron, I don't know if you know.
Sherry, it's likely that you received this program through HCD, that you were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's a great program for fixing, for lack of a better word, substandard housing, so.
Okay, I'll open public comment. Anybody in the public like to comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to adopt Resolution 2024-36 and read by title only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Resolution 2024-36, a resolution of the City of Fortuna approving the memorandum of understanding between the County of Humboldt and the City of Fortuna to continue providing housing program services. Councilmember Conley?
Aye.
Councilmember Losi?
Yes.
Councilmember Mobley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Yes.
Mayor Trent?
Yes. Okay, our city manager's report.
Mayor Trent and council members, you have some upcoming council meetings to finish up calendar year 2024. They are on December 2nd and December 16th. We have Planning Commission meetings on November 26th and December 10th. The next Measure E meeting is Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. The Roner Community Recreation and Park District next meeting is December 4th, and then the FBID meeting is January 23rd, 2025. Can't believe 2025 is almost here. So as you know, on the evening of October 21st, we had an overflow in City Hall, and so City Hall has been under repair for several weeks now, and we're finally in the restoration phase of that particular project, and so we're happy about that, and we thank Public Works very much, and they've done an amazing job and have been super helpful, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I attended an FBID meeting on October 22nd and was able to meet with the FBID ad hoc on Friday, November 15th. And we were meeting to talk about some amendments to bylaws and possible update to the assessment structure. And so we will meet the FBID ad hoc, and myself will meet again this Friday to continue to talk about those things. Solid waste franchise discussions are ongoing. I've had several meetings around that, and then we'll hopefully continue those in-person discussions this week. I also attended a meeting at about the Gene Lucas Wellness Center, also known as the Pool, on Friday, October 25th. And that tied into the Roner Community Recreation and Park District meeting on November 6th. And so plans are still underway for a pool in that area of Fortuna. So that is exciting. And then myself, Heather Stevens, Sienna, Jesse Town, and Kaylin Staybrook, we've been working on a draft field use rental agreement, and we hope to have that to the Parks and Rec Commission in December, as I mentioned that earlier, and then to your city council in January. And again, it's just a relatively standard field use rental agreement. There will be fees. There'll be a flat fee for smaller groups, and then some sort of fee per user, but nothing that would cost an exorbitant amount of money. But as I already mentioned, Measure P did not pass, so it's really important that revenue does come into the city in order to maintain those fields. It's not free to maintain those fields. I also met with Cosmont, with our finance director, to talk about the Enhanced Infrastructure Finance District and what those boundaries would look like. And we should have some preliminary information from Cosmont in the next few weeks, and obviously that will come back to your council. I also had the opportunity to meet with the new Fortuna Chamber of Commerce CEO, Felicia Thompson, and we'll continue to meet with her and develop that relationship. And I believe that concludes my city manager's report for this evening.
Thank you. Future agenda items. Can't talk tonight.
I would like to see if we could, I know the draft report's supposed to be on there, but I would like to see also a discussion item where we can open that to the floor of comment and discussion on the Parks and Rec fee schedule. I think that's going to affect a lot of people, and I think we owe it to people to listen. So,
May I ask a
Yeah.
clarifying question? Is that something that you'd like, do you want that before the fee schedule, in advance of the fee schedule?
I think it needs to be before we vote on the fee schedule.
Okay.
Okay, any other? Okay, then we'll move to city council reports. Councilmember Conley.
Thank you. We had a REDAC meeting, a couple weeks ago now. We were able to vote a couple loans in and had a great presentation by the presenters. Other than that, nothing really else to report. It is sad news. Was up in McKinleyville. Heard there was an accident. Find out it's Jesse, so it's hard.
Councilmember Losi.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have any committee comments, or I didn't have any committee meetings. But I've got a couple of comments. Yes, our hearts go out to the families of Jesse and the lady that was also on the motorcycle. I might have one, maybe two more meetings, depending on when the Board of Supervisors certifies the last election. So I'm looking forward to having free Monday nights. I would like to congratulate Jerry King for winning the election for City Council, as well as our Mayor Tammy Trent for also receiving the most votes on that election. One item that I would like to make, a suggestion that I would like to make to the council, and that is the mayor and mayor pro tem are selected by the council. It's a vote that the council takes to appoint the mayor and pro tem. Last time that happened, it was done in an open meeting at a regular council meeting where people could make their opinions known and have a discussion. The previous appointment for mayor was done in a special meeting at Runner Park. It wasn't televised, and that was 4 years ago, and I did attend that meeting. I voiced my opinion at that time that I thought that it needed to be in an open, regular council meeting as opposed to a special meeting in Roner Park where maybe not everybody would feel comfortable coming, or that some people, I don't remember when it was, the time frame. I think it was early afternoon, maybe later in the afternoon. My point being, there were maybe 2 or 3 people outside of the council that attended. Of course, the city manager was there, the city clerk, I think, was there, maybe not, but there were maybe 2 or 3 people that did receive special invitations, I believe, to that meeting. There wasn't, other than just the regular announcement that this meeting was a special meeting, there wasn't, it wasn't televised, it wasn't disclosed that this was going to be a meeting to elect the mayor and pro tem. So I really believe that for future, that meeting needs to be in a regular council meeting, open to the public and televised. That's my suggestion, so. Maybe, I believe I'll be at least one more meeting, so I will say my goodbyes then. Thank you very much.
I think, Mike, that meeting, the reason it was in the park was that was a COVID meeting, if I remember.
It was.
Well, yeah, but there were previous meetings that had been in the park that weren't COVID, that had been special meetings when the mayor and pro tem were appointed or voted on. And the reason I was told is because people, council members, didn't want their dirty laundry aired in the public, and that it might be embarrassing for some people. You know what? We're adults. I think if there is some embarrassment, people are going to get over that. If there's a discussion that needs to be had about whether somebody is fit to be mayor, or somebody disagrees that somebody shouldn't be mayor, that can be had in public, where the public can also be noticed about it and make comment about it. So yes, it was COVID. But that wasn't the only meeting that was held that way. So, thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Mobley.
I attended an RCA Community Advisory Committee, and we have an opening for Fortuna on that committee. I'm a board liaison, but Elizabeth Burks, who is our Fortuna representative, is now the executive director of RCEA. So her opening is available. If anyone's interested, they meet every other month on Tuesday. They can be lengthy meetings. They try to keep it to about an hour, hour and a half. But if anyone's interested, please reach out to me, and I'll talk to you more about what that would entail. I was part of the FBIT ad hoc committee with Amy, and I do want to say I appreciate so much how quickly you got those responses to us. Fred Robertson and I both on that committee, and she got them back to us within 3 days, which is saying something since we met Friday. Mike Johnson and I are also on an ad hoc committee to update the city council policy and procedure manual, and Amy is helping us with that as well. So that'll be brought back before the council. It'll be a couple of months on that one. That's going to be a little lengthier. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Okay, well, besides the ad hoc committee meeting for policy and procedures, I also attended a historical commission meeting this past Wednesday, and we discussed the decoration of the museum for the upcoming holidays, for the publication projects. I think Susan O'Hara is going to take on a book on the, not flood, but floods of Humboldt County, because there's been a variety. We're also getting decorations up for the 100th anniversary of the Garden Club and an exhibit on the 64 flood. We had some accession items that were donated, a panoramic photo of the Newburgh Mill out Newburgh Road from 1912. So it's a good view. And some 1927, 1948, and 2001 rodeo programs. I also have a meeting this coming Thursday for a ad hoc committee meeting actually, it's the executive committee meeting, for finding a new executive director for HCOG, because our executive director is the incoming executive director for RCEA. So, and then in first week of December, I've been as second vice president for the Redwood Division of the League of California Cities. I will have been invited to attend a leadership conference down in Napa, paid for by the Cal Cities, so that won't incur any cost to the city of Fortuna. And what our project priorities are going to be, what items we're going to be looking to protect. Some of the things we're looking now is for local funds to be protected so they stay local, and local control so that we don't have a whole raft of mandates coming down from Sacramento. And for some of the larger areas, but our area also, is homelessness is an item that's on the agenda, just to name a few. And I look forward to that. And I'll hand it off to you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, I attended the Odell Shelton dedication of the baseball field down at the park. It was very well done, very well attended. All of his grandchildren were there, and all of them threw out a pitch in his honor. So that was a nice dedication for him, all he's done. And then I attended the fire department ribbon cutting for the new fire department out off of Ronoville Road. Very nice fire department. We are so lucky to have such good volunteer fire department in our city. And now we have 2 facilities. The second facility was built because the past one that's on School Street, the fire trucks no longer fit in that. The new trucks are too big. So the new facility is very nice if you have a chance to look at it. I had a Humboldt Transit Authority meeting, and I have nothing to report for that. I attended the Veterans Day, on Veterans Day, honoring the vets at the Fortuna Veterans Building. Our chief was the keynote speaker and did a very good job. It was a very nice presentation honoring all of the vets and a nice reception afterwards. And I belong to the women's, I lost it, the auxiliary for the veterans. And we just did a fundraiser for wreaths across America. So every vet in our cemetery, we're raising money for our local vets, for our cemeteries up here. So all of our vets in the cemeteries in Fortuna will have a wreath placed on there. So if anybody wants to donate towards that, you can let me know, and I'll give you the contact information on where you can pay for that at. And that's all I have to report.
I have 2 more things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that the Fortuna Chamber Mixer is this Wednesday at Fortuna Ace. Also, Santa Sleigh program is going full steam ahead. So anyone that has blankets or toys, they can drop them off at Cornerstone, or if you see buckets somewhere around town. They are in need of blankets this year, though, and they give them to not only the families, but to seniors in the area. So if anyone has anything they can drop off, that would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Now second.
Okay, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.